Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Luna. How's it going, everybody? I'm Luna. Yeah. How's it going, everybody? We are better. We were staying in Paris to get away from the parents who look so proud, standing there with a frown and a cigarette, posting pictures of yourself on the internet out on the terrace. Ooh, Luna! Hi guys, how's it going today? Luna just wanted to say hi to you guys. It's been a while since she actually came on camera, so now she's sleeping on her sectional over there. How are you guys doing today? It's now May the 26th. It's a Saturday. It's a lovely, lovely Saturday, and I cannot wait to actually head out to the cottage. It's going to be kind of a cottage weekend. I haven't really set it up yet this year, so I think this is now a good time. It's now May the 26th. Yeah, it's going to be about 27 degrees outside. The weather outside is probably going to be a lot nicer and with more action as well than what Bitcoin has been doing lately, right? So let's talk about Bitcoin first of all, guys. It's been very sideways lately, right? I mean, if we look at CoinMarketCap right now, there's not really too much going on whatsoever. Market cap has trended very, very low, guys. Like a very good place to be would be over, 375, 500. That's shooting kind of high. But at $336 billion, it doesn't really instill a lot of faith that new investors are actually moving into the market, even at this price right now, right? Yeah, like honestly, guys, you guys don't want to hear me say this, but I'm fairly bearish now, believe it or not. My opinion changed. You have to keep in mind that the people who are amateurs, they'll be like, oh, you were bullish yesterday, you were bearish today, so you're basically saying it's going to go up or down, right? Yes, guys, that's what the stock market does. It goes up and then it goes down, okay? It's as simple as that. And if you are a perma bull or a perma bear, you're going to get burned very quickly, okay? Just so you guys know, you always have to react as more data comes in. And it's been 2-3 days since I've done a technical analysis, and I can't help but be bearish right now. And I know a lot of people who are bigger players in the game that you guys probably know, but I shouldn't say because the conversation was held privately. I definitely believe that that they think as well, they've stated it very formally to me as well, that they believe that we are going to be in a bearish market for a while. It could be for a few months, who knows, right? So yeah, let's take a look at Bitcoin and what it's been doing so far. 24-hour volume has been trending incredibly low, okay? There's always a big question, and that question has to be, where is the volume? Right? Where the heck is the volume? So we have to be a little bit worried, guys, when we're doing all of a sudden 6 billion, and then all of a sudden we can't even average over $5 billion anymore, guys. Usually volume can indicate a lot of things, right? It can indicate, for example, that people are generally interested in a very specific price range. Let me show you guys February 6th, for example, all right? This will be very clear to you guys if you remember February 6th. Let's see. I can't believe February 6th was that long ago. Wow, it's actually been over 3 months since we've hit 6K. It's crazy how time flies by, guys. Let's take a look at December 17. That's where the downtrend started, okay? December 17, we were doing $13 billion, right? Here, it was so obvious that we were eventually going to trend down. The volume was just getting like slowly bottlenecking. And then February 6th is when we hit exactly $6,000. Bam! That's how you know that the market is interested at this price and the next small bull run was going to happen, right? We're trending at, 12 billion, 7 billion, 7 billion. Whoa, it just picked up all of a sudden. Whoa, it picked up again. Whoa, we're almost hitting $10 billion 2, 3 days, 4 days in a row. And yeah, then, April as well. When did it start again, this April trend? Let me just clear up some things here. So it started around April 10, 11, right? So April 10, 11-ish. That was the, right here, okay? April 10, April 11. Actually, was it? I think it was April 12, actually. I must be getting my information mixed up here. Yeah, April 12. That's when it was. So here's April 12 volume, right? We're trending at, 4, 4, 4. And then all of a sudden at $8.9 billion the next day. That's how you know that the market ends up rallying at a very specific price point. So I also wanted to go over something really cool with you guys, okay? Right now, by the way, this is another topic. I was going to talk about funding with you guys, all right? And how I passively grow my income. And you guys wouldn't believe it, but yeah, like I make about $70 to $90 a day in passive income. And I know that this might be hard to relate to, but I just want to show you guys how I do it anyways, okay? And right now I'm actually I'm in the middle of shopping for a car. I got rid of my BMW Z4 So and now I'm just driving around the Corolla around, which is my winter car, right? And so I'm actually shopping right now for, believe it or not, a Lambo or an Audi R8. I haven't really decided yet which one, but I think it's a new car kind of year, guys. I'm gonna walk into a dealership and literally pay for it in cash or ask them to pay for it in Bitcoin. So it's gonna be kind of cool. I'm looking for like a newer one though. And I'm looking for a white one or an orange one. So it's gonna be kind of, it's gonna be really hard to find. I'm looking for a spider. It's got to be, you know, a 5.2 V10. Yeah, like this one caught my eye, but you know what? It's still in the very preliminary phases right now. I do want a spider, that's for sure, and I think I'm gonna be winter driving it as well. So it's a pretty good car for winter. It's not an everyday car, but I don't really go out too much in terms of for pleasure. So yeah, it's definitely a new car kind of year, guys. I'll keep you guys updated. Trust me, you guys are going to see a lot of tweets about this down the road. So I'm going to talk about funding, okay, guys? So usually I keep $100,000 in funding, right? That's right, $100,000. As you guys can see here right now, I have $35.8 thousand in funding, and I want to show you how the funding works, okay? So this is not really geared towards people with you know, a smaller amount to play with. But let's say you're playing with over $100,000, or you just have $100,000 laying around, and you're actually wondering how to grow this. Whether you have 100K, whether you have $1,000, passive income is passive income, in my opinion. Okay, so you want to know what I think is the stupidest thing in the world? A high interest savings account from a bank account. Honestly, I don't even have a bank account where I keep anything substantial in it. Everything's on a nano ledger, guys. Like, really. The only reason I use a bank account in real life, like with fiat, is so I can liquidate crypto to cash, right? That's literally the only reason. But in terms of my trust for a bank account, is literally non-existent after 2008, after the world economic crisis, and how we basically bailed out all these gigantic institutions and investment banks. You know, and how the public had to bail them out, and I completely understand why, right? But I really have lost faith in the fiat monetary currency system. Like, yeah, I can rant for days, but we're not going to get started. Oh wow, look at this, guys. You're going to make 0.9% interest a year. Let's see how much money you guys are going to make, all right? Let's go to a compound interest calculator first of all. You decide to put in $10,000, all right? And years to grow. Let's say you decide to grow it by for 10 years and the interest rate was 0.9, okay? That's the interest rate, okay? And you're going to compound it once every year. Wow, guys, after 10 years, you're going to make $1,000. Oh yeah, that's a great amount, right? Just leave your money untouched for 10 years, okay? 10 years, and you're gonna make $937, okay? Just think about how pathetic that is and how stupid that is. You don't even beat inflation. Sorry for getting a little bit mad here, but I think it's absolutely outrageous, okay? If you were to put in a $100,000, okay? If you were to put in $100,000 in 10 years, compounded once a year, at a rate of 0.9%, you're actually going to make only $9,373, which is absolutely ridiculous, okay? Now, I'm going to show you guys a phenomenal way to passively grow your income, and this is what kind of pays for my month. It just pays for itself, okay? So for my Bitfinex funding, I usually have 100K out, but right now I have 35,000 out right now, okay? So let's just say I had and it expires, like you go to the order form, okay guys? So the way that the funding works is you go to your funding tab. Now, where does the money go to when you contribute to the funding? The money goes towards people who are leveraging, right? So you have to understand the way shorting and leveraging works, right? And I cover it immensely if you guys haven't gone through it before. But I'm gonna go over it very, very quickly with you guys, like in a nutshell, okay? Let's say you're leveraging, okay, leveraging 3.3x. You're leveraging $1,000 at 3.3x, okay? At 3.3x, which is equal to $3,300, okay? So if you're leveraging that much, you're actually borrowing $3,300 minus your money. So you're borrowing $2,300, which is borrowed, okay? Now, where does that money come from, right? When you're leveraging to short or to go long? Well, that money comes from people like myself that are actually contributing to the funding account, right? So this funding account, it goes towards the people who borrow it, right? The people who are borrowing the money are the people who are margin trading, who are in leveraging, who are shorting, who are longing using that. And that's why you guys will also see, for example, in the margin, right? You have a fee every day. Well, that fee is of course going to go to the people like myself because there has to be some sort of incentive for the people who want to add to the funding, right? So why would we want to add to the funding if we're not going to get something back out of it, right? It just makes no sense. So the way it benefits both parties is people who are leveraging. Say you guys are leveraging to trade in a margin account. Well, it benefits you guys as well because the money will come from, say, people like myself who are adding to the margin account. So it's kind of a give and take relationship where you're paying a fee to leverage, right? You're paying a fee to leverage, and that fee basically goes towards me. Or if you are the lenders, right, and other people are margin trading, well, the fee that they pay will go towards you, okay? So I'm going to talk about a little bit about it. So here you see in the funding tab, right, you see right there, I usually just only lend to USD, right? Euro's been up pretty good right now, but the highest one that's always up is of course always USD, right? Because USD is traded as the main pair on Bitfinex. So today the interest is at 0.05. We have to remember how this is, right? This is 0.05%. So when you actually convert it to a decimal, it's actually 0.00 and then 0.559. Okay, so that's how the decimal system works. Always add 2 zeros in front of it first, just to be very, very clear. Okay, so let's just say we're at 0.055%, and let's just say, okay, we're actually growing this right now 0.0055%. Okay, now how many times is it compounded annually? It is compounded 365 times. Okay, I just want you guys to know that 365 times, because this is actually the daily interest. I want to be very, very clear. Okay, this is the percentage of the rate per day. So let's say you clicked on this right there. Okay, this is the percentage, right? And you clicked on whatever you wanted to put into here. This is the rate that is compounded per day. You have to understand that, all right? All right, now let's compare it to crypto, all right? So keep in mind that we're going to be going at a 0.5, whatever it is now. Say it's 0.599. We'll just say 0.6%. That's usually what I'm averaging, okay? And we're going to basically grow a $100,000 account in 1 year, right? So let's just say you had 100K laying around and you were compounding this interest every single day with auto renew, which is usually what I have, but I turned it off just for the purpose of this video here. So every single day you'd be making about $60 a day, right? Which is exactly what I do. So if you do the math, well, you're making about $24,000 a year off of a 100K account, right? Which is actually over a 20% interest, okay? We're talking about a 20%, which is equated to roughly a 20% annual interest, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it, right? There's nowhere in the world that actually offers this kind of insane compound interest, and it's 100% safe. This is not trading, right? This is not investing. This is not swing trading. This is nothing like that at all. This is not buying an ICO. This is not investing in any type of coin or anything even to do with crypto. This just has to do with lending in the margin account, right? Or people who are borrowing from the margin account, and it's actually 100% like guaranteed safe. And the reason it's safe is because there's no risk is because if you guys get liquidated, it comes out of your account, just to be very clear. So the lender always gets his money back, regardless of you get liquidated or not, right? So like, let's say I got liquidated, right? It doesn't always keep the remaining equity. If there's, for example, a snowball effect where there's a flash crash, right? Well, some people will actually go into the negative. That's right. They'll go into the negative in their balance. Like, let's say you had $30,000. You might go negative 10K if there's a flash crash and you're trying to basically catch the bottom to try to close your position, right? And the reason why it goes negative is because it ensures that the lender always gets paid back. So I've never had an issue with it once. And like I've only been lending for about a year maybe. maybe about a year and a half now. Never ever a single issue, and I highly recommend that if you guys actually have a fairly significant amount of capital, this is something that you absolutely want to do, guys. Okay, so every year you'll literally be making $25,000 in passive income, and honestly, guys, I live off of this money. Like in terms of day-to-day stuff, like food, whatever I need to, just food and going out or whatever, just day-to-day stuff that I need to pay for, like my cell phone, my internet, whatever. So this is all passive income to me that does a phenomenal job of sustaining me. So yeah, like I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking that like, yeah, this is not really relatable, right? Like, who the heck has 100K lying around like that? So like, I don't mean to make this video to I don't mean, it's not like, don't whenever I make these kind of videos where I'm trying to give general advice or tips, right? I get more hatred towards me than like, than I say the other way, which whatever that is, like appreciation, because people think that I'm like bragging or something like that, right? It's not bragging at all, guys. This is giving legitimate advice where when you get to the next step of trading, this is kind of a really good idea, right? So I'm always trying to give tips left and right that I personally think has benefited me tremendously. So please, guys, just please don't take it the wrong way, okay? Because at the end of the day, I ultimately am making these videos because I want to improve you guys as a trader, and I also want to improve your wealth as well and help you grow it, right? And passive income is definitely a really great way to do it. People have said to me before things like, why don't I invest into real estate? Like why don't I do something like that? Because it is so boring and slow paced. That's why. Why would I want to buy like a $200,000-$300,000 property that's going to take like 25 years to pay for itself? And then after 25 years, when it pays for itself of renting it out, I can enjoy the fruits of, $15,000 of money coming in a year. It's like, it's great and all, but if I wanted to get into real estate, I would need to first of all invest a lot of money. Like we're talking 5 to 10 million for a lot of units to make it worthwhile. So like for myself, 1 to 2 units, not really too interested in it, right? I don't really want to diversify at all right now. What I want to do is just stick to crypto, specialize in it, and grow my wealth there because I personally believe that it has the power to usurp monetary currency systems right now. I mean, you think of a bank account and they're 1% interest, guys. Okay, they're 1% interest. You put in 100K and you're gonna get $1,000 a year. $1,000 a year, guys. You put 100K into crypto, you get $24,000 back. Passive income, guaranteed money, literally zero risk because, well, the only people who take the risks are actually the people who are borrowing to begin with, right? So definitely take that into account, guys. Once again, I usually have this auto renew feature where I'm playing it. I'm always making sure that I have $100,000 in funding, but right now I just haven't renewed it yet. Just as an example here, right? So I've got about 35.8 there, and these are always filled up. There's always people, margin trading, right? Sometimes it closes early, but this is what the auto renew feature is for. So I just want to give you guys some general tips as well as what I do with some of the crypto that I have as well, right? I put into funding, guys. I put it into funding because I find that it's very safe. There's literally no risk that I know of. I can't think of a single risk, right? It's not like you even have a chance to lose it because you always get it back. Because once again, the risk is all on the lenders, right? So sorry, all on the borrowers. So anyways, just want to give you guys a little quick tidbit about that as well there. Okay. Yeah. So let's get into the technical analysis. I don't want this video to be too long already, okay, guys? My apologies if it has been very long already. I want to show you guys what a bull market, first of all, is, okay? A bull market is when we basically enter into a region, okay? Actually, I should show you guys here, first of all. This is really important that you guys understand this right now. I want to show you guys why it is a very scary time right now, okay? I'm going to show you guys just as an example. I will never compare Bitcoin to 2014, 2015. I will never be, as much as I love Tone Vays, I will never be like him who is comparing a $10 billion market cap coin in 2014 to a $350 billion market cap coin, okay? Market caps are tremendously different. I find it incredibly wrong to compare it like to a coin and when a time when it only had 133 like percent. Okay, 1 out of 30%. Okay, 1/30th is what I'm trying to say. Market cap is substantially different. Adoption was completely different as well. You're comparing apples and oranges. No offense. Okay, the correlation to me is just ridiculous. I'm never going to compare it to 2014, 2015, regardless of what anyone does or says. Okay, this is not an asset that could be even close to compared to that time frame right now. But I just need to give you guys a very clear-cut example of something, okay? So what happens is the death cross happens, right? So the death cross is when the 200 moving average, it ends up crossing above the 200 moving average, or the 55 moving average, or the 50 in your guys' case, because I use Fibonacci numbers. So death cross happens, right? And then what happens is it trends down a little bit, and then a golden crossover happens again. Hurrah! Really hoping for a really nice golden crossover. But after the golden crossover happens, one of two things can happen, guys. We can never, ever death cross again, and then we just keep going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Or we end up death crossing again, and it goes down. So this whole region right here was basically considered a bull trap region, you can say. Okay, now you guys need to follow that. Now I will show you guys something right here. What happened? Huh, guys? We death crossed, okay? And then we golden crossed over again. And now we are in a death cross again, right? Chances are very slim, guys, that we're going to actually death cross and then golden cross, death cross, and then golden cross again. It just does not happen like that on a daily. On a lower time frame, yes, it happens, right? So this is why I'm a little bit bearish right now, guys. Right now, okay? I don't think that we're going to break anything higher than 8K. And if we do have an uptrend, it's going to be very, very short-lived, okay? So this could have been interpreted many ways. Let's just say, for example, that that the Elliott wave here was, basically just 1, 2, 3, even 4 like that on a daily chart, 4 and 5, right? So if we go to low time frame, it's really clear as well that this is basically the ABC going up, right? If that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in hindsight, really, really easy to play this when you think about it, right? So a good play obviously would have been as soon as this region for wave 1 breaks, you target a 161.8 extension of this particular wave, okay? And yeah, pretty much this hit a 1-to-1, almost hit a 168. But if you just held strong there, of course it would have hit it there. So that would have been really easy to play to short. So now this made the simple ABC going upwards, right? That made the simple ABC going up like that, right? And then now this is probably the 5th wave coming down, but who knows how great of a degree this 5th wave is going to be, right? So we've been on kind of on a sideways trend for a few days now, guys. We've been on a sideways trend for about 3 days now, okay? Yeah, about 3 days now we've been on a sideways trend. And I'm going to go to a lower time frame to show you guys that we are still overall in a bearish market right now, short term, okay? Because, well, we can't even get above the 55 EMA on a 1-hour chart, 2-hour chart, well below the 55 EMA, 3-hour chart, well below it, 4-hour chart, well below it, daily chart, death cross. And if we look at a weekly chart as well right now, okay, historically, the 55 moving average has held extremely strong, and it has acted as support ever since 2015, okay? Every time we got close to it, actually we didn't even come close to touching it, right? So it's gonna, then we came down, bounced off of the 55 very heavily, came down, almost closed well below it, but we did it. We bounced off of it. And of course, we're gonna get some sort of reaction right here. I believe that we might even go up to about 8,000 at most before we actually end up continuing the downtrend. You guys might not want to hear that, but as a trader, you guys have to make sure you understand that we try to account for every unforeseen circumstance, right? Because if we don't, then we're not prepared. This is clearly making some sort of descending triangle pattern right here, okay? So far, we can assume that it's going to make, sorry, not ascending, descending triangle right now so far, right? So it's very difficult for me to assume it's going to break very, very high upwards. So the way that I'm going to do my fib right here, and I say 8K, is simple. off of this particular wave right here, I'm going to generally target somewhere between 77.91 and about the 618 Fibonacci region, okay? And how I'm going to play this right here is very simple, guys. I'm waiting for this type of triangle or whatever you can call it to break. Like, okay, but I'm not going to enter on there. I just want to be very, very clear that I'm not entering on this particular symmetric triangle break, okay? Where I'm going to be entering it off of is a break above 86 something region right here, okay? Around there, okay? So this is my zone to very much so keep an eye. Keep an eye on this zone right here, okay? Keep an eye on this zone because this is making a symmetric triangle, first of all. I'm going to draw it for you guys in here, okay? Like that, right? Very, very clear to me it's making it. But I'm not going to get bull trapped, guys. I'm not going to get bull trapped. You guys should never, ever get bull trapped either, and always wait for my confirmation zone, okay? Keep an eye on this zone is how I'm going to identify it to people, okay? Symmetric triangle, keep an eye on this zone. A break above, what was it again? 76.20 to 76.50 range. Can signal a rally to the above targets, okay? That is going to be definitely my my play right here. So keep an eye on this zone. Symmetric triangle, right? If it breaks out, I think a break above like 86.20 to 86.50 could signal a rally up to there. And the play for me is going to be simple, guys. Really, really simple. I'm going to target something like that. Target the average, okay? I'm just going to target the average there, set my stop loss around, if we break above there, honestly, 7,500, 7,550, or just go for a very, very tight stop loss of roughly 1%, right? Let's go for a percentage based instead. And yeah, we just take the average between, taking an average target between 0.32 fib and 0.618 fib range. So yeah, so that's what I plan to do. That's going to be my swing position. I don't know how long it's going to take to actually get there, right? And yeah, so you guys always have to keep in mind, right? Whenever I post my plays that I plan to take, there's always these smart asses who are like, yep, that's never going to happen. Yep, that's not going to happen. Like they're so confident that they know what the market is going to do, right? It's just asinine people. The reason why I plan these, whether they come to fruition or not, is to make sure that we understand what could possibly happen if it does happen. We plan for unforeseen circumstances, and you guys need to understand that, right? Whether it happens or not, I don't really care, right? As long as I understand that it could happen, and if it does happen, then my play here is completely set, okay? So this is the bullish view right here for short term, okay? Bullish view, short-term play. Short-term swing play. Short-term swing setup. Yeah, so this is a good way to play it. That's kind of the only way that I'm looking at it for now, right? So it makes a lot of sense to me. You know what I mean? It makes a lot of sense to me, this play. And I'm also going to go for the bearish view right now as well, okay? The bearish view is of course, you guys always got to have two plays, right? Make sure that you guys are always making sure that you try to look at every single possible view. Don't stay bullish. Don't ever stay bearish. Make sure you guys are always understanding that everything, guys, absolutely everything needs to be accounted for, because that's what's going to improve you as a trader. Okay, if you guys try to look for every angle, and when it actually does happen, there's literally just no surprises whatsoever, right? So yeah, so I'm just actually binding something here. All right, I'm just going to post this on my Steemit very quickly in front of you guys. Don't mind me, very quickly. All right. It just takes a long time to do it later. So yeah, it's pretty good risk to reward setup, right? 4.37. I say it's pretty good. So now let's look at the bearish view, okay? So the bearish view is very bearish. So if we break below over here, this is the eye that I'm going to keep an eye on, okay? This is the zone that I will be keeping an eye on right here. Roughly these zones. I will add 25% to my position in this zone right here. I will, well, up here, I mean, okay? If we break this symmetric triangle around this particular region right here, near this region, I will add 25% to my position for a short. It's a symmetric triangle breakdown. I will add 25% of my position to this short. It's going to be a pretty big position. It's probably going to be about, I'm guessing $40,000 this time. Maybe 50, maybe more. We'll see. We'll see my mood. Well, not my mood, but more so just how it looks in general, right? So this symmetric triangle breakdown, I'll add 25% of my position to the short, right? And then if we actually break this right here, 7,260, right? As if we break this right here, I will add the majority of my position. And if we break here, I will add the majority. Right? And where was going to be a target, guys? You guys don't want to hear me say this, but I gotta say it, okay? The target is going to be like way down over here, guys. Yeah, you guys are going to hate me for saying this. Nobody likes to hear it when I talk about a bearish market. Okay. The play will basically be, so if I dollar cost average, right? Let's see what my dollar cost averaging is going to give me here. So I'll probably end up adding some around like the 74.50 range, I'm guessing. Okay. 74.50 range. Let's just say I play with, I don't know, 2.5 Bitcoin or something like that. At 74.50 range, right? That's 18K. Let's say add another 7.5 Bitcoins there at about 76.50 range. So now my short position is going to be averaged out to about 73.07. Okay, 73.07. I'm now in the position for 10 Bitcoin, and my target will actually be about 64.60, I think. Was that it? I can't remember. Like around 6,400-ish. Like I'll probably end up covering the weekends, so I'll probably just go for like 6,600 even, or 6,500. Let's just say around 6,500. Wow. Whoops, sorry about that. That's my thing. That's my Steemit blog on there. Let's just have it macroed to my keyboard. 6,500. My stop loss will probably be about 7,500. So I've got a really good risk to reward ratio for a possible 11% gain. So I'm finding this setup really good. But the important thing is here, the reason why I did this is because I have a price averaging now. So my price averaging is about 7,300. Okay. So this is going to be the setup, right? The setup is a short right there. I'm going to probably stop 7,300 on the nose is going to be my average price roughly. Okay. And then your price that I'll stop myself would be about 7,500, I'm guessing. Okay. And my target will be about 6,500 actually. It's pretty bearish, guys. So I've got a good risk to reward here, guys, of about 4. Okay. Really, really good. Cannot complain about that, right? That's the setup right there. Like that's a really, really good setup, guys. Target. I just want to be very clear for people that are target is 6,500, right? So the reason why I'm not confident of either way right now is because, yeah, we could still hit 8K, right? So I've got to play if it breaks a very specific number. If it breaks around 7650-ish, we're probably going to shoot for about 8K, right? It's a really reasonable Fibonacci to target as well. Might go a little bit higher, but if it goes down, guys, I've also got another play. I'm only going to add a tiny amount to my position, which is about 25%, say, because I'm not confident of the downtrend yet, right? But then if we actually break 7260, which was the interim swing low right here, okay, then I'll be very confident that we're probably going to hit at least 6,500. that's going to be my setup right there with a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So as a trader, I personally don't care, guys, if the market goes up or if it actually goes down, right? If it goes up or go down, who cares? If it goes down, short the guy. If it goes up, fantastic, right? Just fantastic if it actually goes up instead. So I hope that this really does make sense, guys. I should probably just do this for you guys because it's a lot easier to understand. Like, let's move it very, very close to right there. 7,300. There, that's a lot better. There we go. So this makes a lot more sense, right? There we go. So I'm shooting for about a 2.74% loss there. You know what? I could probably even take a tighter stop loss than that, because if we're breaking that right there, there's probably going to be a lot of conviction. So I can make my stop loss even tighter at like 1.3%. So I've got a really good risk to reward here, right? But you know what? I want to allocate some time to it. So let's take the average of it, guys. Let's take the average of 74 and 75, okay? Let's go 74.50. 450, just slightly above the support, which will actually now turn to resistance to me. So it's a pretty good place, but it really depends on what you guys prefer, right? You got to give it a little bit of room. So some people might like 7,400, you never know. Some people might like 7,500 just to give it some breathing room. So let's just say we stayed with about 7,500 then, okay? Just to have a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio right there, okay? So that's a beautiful risk to reward ratio as well for the bearish view. So what more could you ask for, right? You get a bearish view that we're planning just in case something happens, and then we get a bullish view as well if something does happen as well. So we're kind of seeing the best of both worlds right now. If we look on like candlestick analysis, right, guys? The daily, the weeklies is looking nasty, guys. Like we have a really ugly candle that indicates absolutely no momentum whatsoever, okay? Like if you look on February 6th right here, right? February 6th had this massive candle rejection, right? It rejected 32% with a wick. That's how you can kind of confirm a downtrend, right? That is ending. On a daily, we don't really have a lot of candles right now. We're getting like inside candles, or so we don't have a lot of supportive candles. We got daily that people thought it would explode after that, but we didn't at all, right? Then we're getting a series of inside candles that are forming now, but we're still getting the death cross. So here, I mean, it just comes down to that symmetric triangle, guys. Like here on the 4-hour, yes, we're absolutely upticking on the histogram, and on the we're kind of bullishly diverging, right? Definitely bullishly diverging. So like long term, I'm more so leaning towards of course, very bullish, right? But for the short, like very short term, as in a few days, I'm thinking it's going to be a short term bull run, right? Maybe to 8K. But medium term, guys, I want to be very clear that medium term, we're talking about maybe a month to 2 months. I'm actually very bearish right now. That's where my bias is. I can't help but be like that and think that because we just don't have that kind of support or major fundamental news to be driving Bitcoin, right? Like we're getting some, right, guys? But the sentiment in general is actually still very bearish across the market, right? You have to wonder, why the heck are people not buying at 7,500? I was interested in it, but because I don't feel that vibe. Do you guys know what I mean? I don't feel that vibe right now from the community, and also just from investors in general, or from the level 2 order book, right? I see a lot more people flashing sell orders than actually buy orders. Like as is flashing in the book to manipulate. Sorry about that. Okay, let's get on with this. Yeah, like I think you guys have my full thoughts already on this right now, okay? I'm really hoping for a break above the 76.20 range to 76.50 range. Otherwise, I'm going to be fairly bearish for the whole week, you know? I wish we could start a bull run right now. Like, it will happen, okay, guys? It will happen. We just have to be very patient. It's just a matter of time. So until then, guys, just hang tight. You know, still look for those setups that I've taught you guys how to look for. Just because we're entering, or we might enter a bear market, doesn't mean there's not going to be any opportunity, right? Keep in mind that 80% of my profits are actually made in a bear market. So I can't complain if we enter a bear market. Not only that, you guys got to really understand the fact that, guys, if Bitcoin goes to $3,000, you guys should be happy, to be honest, okay? Honestly, you guys should be very happy. Let's just say that you guys are working with only 2 Bitcoin that you can buy. Sorry, just say you're working with $10,000, okay? whatever that works out to be. $10,000 divided by 10K divided by 700. Hold on, what's the price right now? 7,500 divided by 7,500. Sorry about that. Divided by 7,500, you could buy 1.33 Bitcoin. Okay. Let's just say you had 10K, and you can buy it 7,500. Okay, you can 10,500. Hold on. Okay, you have 10K. You can only buy 1.333 Bitcoin with $7,500. Okay, so let's just say that you were targeting $25,000 later this year. Sure, you'd make a $23,000 profit. Okay, 23K. But now all of a sudden Bitcoin drops because it's a finite resource. And everybody, it's a scarce resource, guys, just like gold, right? And the scarcer it is, everybody wants to buy. So now you can buy 3.33, sorry, divided by, let's just say it hits some outrageous number like $4,000, okay? Some outrageous number. Well, now you can buy 2.5 Bitcoin, okay? You can buy 2.5 Bitcoin now, okay? And now your $10,000 investment where you could have made 23K, all of a sudden, hold on, 4,000. Did I say 4,000? Hold on, what did we say here? I think it was 10,000 divided by 4,000. Yeah, $4,000, right? Okay, now all of a sudden, guys, your $4,000 investment, okay? Sorry, your $10,000 investment where you could have made 23K if it was at 7,500. Now all of a sudden it turns to $52,000, right? Because you bought Bitcoin at a much cheaper price. So for the long term, guys, I actually want this correction to happen where we could see anywhere between, you guys don't want to hear me say this, but anywhere between 5,000 to 6,500 for now. If we do enter a bear market, some people even think it could possibly hit 4,000. Some people think that it could hit 3,000. I know some professionals who are really hoping for 3K. And whether it goes to 3K or not, I just want Bitcoin to be cheaper because I want to be able to buy more Bitcoin as well. Some people focus on a fixed value. Some people focus on a fixed amount. What kind of trader are you? I more so want to focus on a fixed amount because I want to have at least a good 50 Bitcoin, believe it or not. Because if 50 Bitcoin does end up coming to fruition this year, and we actually hit, say, $25,000, if I had 50 Bitcoin and I had it at, say, $5,000, yeah, I'll be smiling this year making $1 million, guys. Like, that's the truth, okay? I'll be completely just laughing about it. So, yeah, that's kind of my two thoughts, guys. It can go up, it can go down. That's the truth about Bitcoin. But you guys have my specific plays and my thoughts. I'm heading to the cottage, and I'm shopping for an R8 probably. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Take it easy, guys. Enjoy this Saturday. It is so beautiful outside right now, and where I'm from, we really don't get that nice of a summer, right? So whenever it is summer, I always make the best use of it, and I always take a step back from day trading, and we're still focused on swing trading. And I hope you guys do that as well. So have a great day, guys. Take it easy, and thanks for joining me. Bye now.